2 Sports Drop here, talking Husker football against Northern Iowa. Let's get it kicked.
Yeah.
It was a good game. A lot more points than we figured. What I got a couple scores right here that say 17-35, 14-45, 7-48. Wow. One of us was really ambitious.
Yeah. I was what, 45-14, something like that?
Yeah, you had the 14-45 Huskers. And I had 17-35. And Alberto had 7-48. Hey, it could have happened.
Yeah, if we played the starters the whole game, it would have happened. But again, they played the whole fourth quarter. The reserves did, so good. I love that. I love it when that happens.
That's depth in keeping the lead.
Yep. And we scored in the second half.
So what about really if, like, say they scored 2 more? Will our starters come back in?
I doubt it.
So if we lost that game, they'd have lost it to the second string. Starters would have never came in. If it was in the game.
They would have had to score early. Their offense is not a big play offense. Their offense is derived from the run. Damn near solely from the run. They're like an old school. They're like
Husker
old school Nebraska. Oh yeah, 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
That's the way you said it. I was like, oh, like an old Husker team. That's the way we got down.
Yeah, but I love that offense, though. I love that offense.
But
it's totally one-dimensional, though.
That first drive we had, man, that was fast.
Oh yeah, I think it was like a minute and a half or some shit like that.
It just it almost felt like it was going to set the pace of the game. Like, here we go again.
But they responded or did. Yeah, we scored first, right?
Yeah. Got it right away.
Let me look at some recap here.
Now you're going to have to edit out this.
No, we don't.
I'm watching it on my TV, so if you want to edit that out.
Yeah.
Oh. What is this? Oh, Raiola. 3-7.
So yeah, we did score first. Carter Nelson's first touchdown was a Husker.
Yeah, and then second touchdown's Huskers. Second score was a field goal by Northern Iowa. I've never even heard of them until right now. I don't mean to be rude. Shout out Northern Iowa. No disrespect.
I hadn't either. I mean, they're an FCS school, so they're a smaller school. I don't know if they have NIL.
That's not fair.
I don't know. I don't know too much about FCS. I don't know. I know they don't have the helmet stuff like we got, like every D1 school has.
What the man? I'll tell you what, dude. Sorry, I'm watching the highlight right here. That dude just did a rolling back tackle to Raiola, and he just stepped away like it's a toddler trying to tack your leg. Nope, not anybody. Yep. If that was my team, I'd be so mad. Like, why are you trying to sack a quarterback with a rolling back tackle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not a football player. I'm not an analyst, but I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah, and Raiola just kind of danced away from it too. He
walked the other way, like I said, like a toddler trying to take you down by your leg. You're like, nope, come on, little buddy. Well, come on, I can wrestle you.
But again, the poise that Raiola had, the running game was okay. Their defense, I mean, I give Northern Iowa a ton of credit. Their defense was pretty stout.
Yeah, and you got to play to your strengths too. You know what I mean? It's like Mahomes. He's not always the star. You got to play to your strengths.
Yeah. Emmett, man, he looked fast.
Is that Emmett or is it Johnson?
Emmett Johnson.
Yeah. That dude. He's got those big, giant arms. He's got those huge, thick arms, dude.
Yeah. But I was totally impressed with our defense, how they reacted or how they adjusted to Northern Iowa. I mean, that first drive they made it look really easy, you know, and then we clamped up, and I think it was on the 10-yard line. We clamped up and held them to a 31-yard field goal. So, damn. I mean, and that's all they got. And I was watching the game. I'm like, that's all they get. After that, I'm like, that's all they get.
And there's so many broken, wide open plays in this game. There was so many wide open, broken plays.
Yeah.
Like, what is really going on here?
Who else had a great game?
You know, we better not get too used to this shit because it's coming.
Yeah, we got Illinois?
Yeah, Illinois coming up.
Fighting Illinois. Brent Bielema. He's a. I mean, he was Wisconsin's head coach for a long time.
Yeah.
So he knows Big Ten. He knows what it takes to win. So
our UTEPs and Colorados and Northern Iowas are going to be out of the way. Now it's time to play some real teams and put out some real numbers. Mm-hmm. Because if we can't, we're not legit.
I think we do. Honestly, here's my hot take.
Or it depends on how close we get to say with legit.
I'm sticking with my 8-4.
Okay.
Only because there's going to be a team that figures this out. And then other teams are going to use that as a formula to beat us.
Ooh.
And honestly, I think it's going to be Ohio State.
Oh, I know it's going to be Ohio State. I'm not worried about that. And they're not going to figure us out. They're used to playing at that level. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I mean. They're going to figure us out because that's the way the game goes. But it's not going to be like they're going to exploit something.
No.
They're just going to know what we're about to do. They're going to stop it.
Yeah.
Because I think we pretty much know what we're going to do. And DBs won't be fighting with another wide receiver and getting a wild catch. These DBs are going to be hot on them and ready to intercept anything. Yeah. Make them look stupid. Safeties across the middle. It's going to happen. But hopefully Johnson can break for those big runs. He can get one of those big runs.
Well, I mean, we got Dante starting, I believe. I think he's our came out as starter.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we could develop a very good run game. Mm-hmm. Run game opens the pass game.
Yep, because we got Dante as a thumper. We got Emmett as the fast, elusive back. That he's like a one-cut running back, man. He makes you look stupid.
And sometimes I look at Raiola, and he, even in good moments, he always looks like he's nervous. You know, he's got that nervous look on his face all the time. But then, like, you see the end of the game when he's walking, he's so calm and chill. It's like he's not nervous. He's just that cold. He's that chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first seen it, I was like, dude, he looks nervous as shit. And at the end of the game, he won. I was like,
he's got a swagger, man. He's got that swagger.
He needs more of a smile. He don't have a smile. He's got a stone cold killer face.
And as a freshman, he's
that's my bad. He's got a pretty
Yeah.
Ben Stein. Yeah. I'm a good quarterback.
And notice every time he's on the mic, he always ends "Go Big Red." That's pride. That's pride in your school.
How long he's been saying that in his family?
Oh, forever.
Dad said that his whole life. Go Big Red. Hey, son, have a good day at school. Go Big Red.
And his brother, I mean, his brother's a bigger fan than Dylan is.
Big Red.
Big Red. That's
Keep
right.
Up, baby.
Yeah.
All the time. Go Big Red.
Hell yeah. I'm impressed with this team, but I'm wanting to see how it's going to retaliate or how it's going to react in the Big Ten play. Because that's when we know our true test is this week.
Yeah.
What do we have?
That's what we do. We have Matt Rule. That's what we have. And we have Raiola, and we have a damn good running game. We got a good group of kids that want to play hard ball and really want to get out there and do it and prove that we belong back in the Big Ten again. We're We're in Nebraska. Now people are going to start looking at us. Like I said, we ain't gone nowhere. We've always been here. And now people are looking at us. We got a whole different crew of people with us.
All it takes is that one superstar to just.
Yep.
And honestly, here's a hot take. I don't think Raiola is that superstar. I think it's Matt Rhule.
Well, hope we don't start drinking the Kool-Aid, Scott Frost.
I mean, honestly, if Frost was here, we'd be 0-3.
Yeah, and it would still be Martinez
on his eighth senior season.
I broke that down to Jessica about not being able to play in the big games. I was like, he couldn't make it in the Big 10. He made it in the Big 12. Made it in the USFL. Couldn't make it in the NFL. He's a big fish in a small pond.
Okay, so let's. No, I like the kid, regardless if he went to Kansas State or not. I like the kid. I think he's a good kid. Here's my take on why he didn't get the job at the Jets. Aaron Rodgers.
So why? What would Aaron Rodgers have to say about it?
Because Aaron Rodgers is that cocky prick that kind of gets what he wants.
You're just talking about Aaron Rodgers. Why would Aaron Rodgers not want him?
Why? Because he doesn't fit his scheme.
But how is that Aaron Rodgers' call? You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to argue with you, but I'm just, going back and forth with you about it because I don't understand how Aaron Rodgers would be the call of that.
Why did Aaron Rodgers leave Green Bay? Because they got rid of one of his favorite receivers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and his favorite receiver was very upset that he left the next year.
Right. So what did Aaron Rodgers do? I'm leaving.
Yeah, we went to the Jets.
I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home.
They were going to start Love anyways. He knew it.
No.
They wanted to start
over Aaron Rodgers?
They wanted to start Love. That's the way I heard it. Is they wanted to start Love, and Aaron Rodgers was like, "Then go ahead and start Love, and I'm going to leave."
I don't know the ins and outs of the NFL.
I don't know all of what's real and not real. I'm just saying what I heard.
Right. And I heard that Love was getting a chance because Aaron Rodgers was being a baby back bitch.
Yeah. Well, that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's why
he throws a fit.
The only time I like him is when he's out there just showing out and just dropping balls in everywhere. That I'm like, all these haters, they're all going to be so mad watching him throw big touchdowns.
I loved Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. But the fact that, because of what Favre did, oh, I'm leaving. No, I'm coming back. No, I'm leaving. No, I'm coming back. Give the man a chance.
Who? Favre?
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers is like, I'm here. I'm ready to go, coach. You're going to sit and we're going to play Favre.
Was better off. Hey, Mahomes, you're going to sit and get Alex, and Alex Smith is going to play.
It's kind of and I don't know the like I said, the ins and outs. I don't know the behind the scenes, what happened. All I see as a fan's perspective, he cried and they tried to buckle. Green Bay was buckling for Aaron Rodgers. They were going to give him everything he wanted. He's like, no, I'm just too sad. I'm just going to go to the Jets.
Well, actually, what the way I heard it was that all kind of boiled over. Like, okay, now you know what? You want all this shit. Now it's starting to boil over a little bit more.
Yeah.
It all became a little bit more turmoil than it was catering to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think it all boiled over and tempers came and he wanted that. They're like, you know what? Forget it, dude. Forget it. We have our guy right here. Forget it. If you want to go, you could go. And then here's what we'll do. We'll make these arrangements. He's like, I'm leaving. Carry a United States flag out and play 3 plays. And I'm out of here.
But, I mean, good for Green Bay because that's what they needed to do. They needed to put their foot down. Say, enough is enough. You're either going to play for us or you're not. There's the door if you don't want to play.
And then that guy leaves, and the other guy comes in, and what's the first thing he says? I want my bag.
Right.
I hope they suck this year.
Oh.
I hope they suck this year just for the fact that he wanted his bag right away. Now he's injured. Now somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you got hurt.
I'll be the first to admit, I was sort of a Green Bay Packer fan.
I
got family. I got family up there.
I liked Love because of what he was coming off of Rodgers, i.e. what you just talked about. What happened with that. And I was like, go show out, brother. Go show out. Go show out and show them what you can do. Show them you're a Tiger. Show them what you can do. And go out there and earn your bag. But did he earn the bag? No. I don't think yet.
No.
He's a mediocre quarterback. See how he does his sophomore.
But he's in the NFL. He's making bank, regardless.
Yeah, he's NFL. Yeah, he's an elite quarterback. I'm just an armchair fucking guy with a microphone. I'm not an analyst.
Hey, we're armchair quarterbacks with microphones and headsets.
Yep. And I'm not an analyst, so don't ask me what he ran in a fucking 40 or anything like that, because I don't have a clue.
But back to Husker football.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we?
2 freshmen got their first touchdown this past Saturday. Carter Nelson and Ja'Cory Barney Jr.
Yeah, let's go, Barney.
That dude's gonna be good. That dude is fast, man. He reminds me of who?
Tyreek Hill.
I was thinking more Husker-ish, like
Rahib Ismail.
Oh, Spielman. Or what was that guy that went to Green Bay for a hot minute and I think left? He was a JUCO transfer for like 1 year. He was here 1 year.
Is it corner?
No, he was a receiver.
I don't know. Lately, after the few years, our team hasn't really been that good. So all I really remember is the quarterbacks and running backs.
Yeah.
I'm more of an NFL guy, but I love my Huskers. Don't get me wrong.
I'm a true blue Husker through and through.
That's why
the day I die.
Now I know a little bit more people too, because we're actually pretty good. We got good players that stand out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Defense looked good. I do know that we're out a couple players for this week. Michael Makuza, I'm probably not saying that right, is out for disciplinary reasons.
Great.
Well, so that's what I heard first. But then I heard he got into an argument with one of the coaches, which is what happened at Baylor, which is what happened at Florida.
Him?
Yeah.
You're a virus.
Right. But you can't deny that he's a damn good player.
Oh, we don't have to deny that he's a good player just because he's a virus to the locker room.
Right. And then the other guy, Van Poppel, is looking possibly towards a red shirt. He's I believe he's a linebacker.
Get some.
But they did say he is going to play in 4 games this year. So that's awesome.
Playing in 4 games?
You can play up to 4 games and still redshirt.
Oh, okay. It was like 4 games? What, like he's scheduled 4 games and like the other guy's taking a vacation or something? I'm not going to be able to make it, coach.
They're saying it's going to be big games because he's way too talented not to be on the field in big game situations. And the way that Matt Rule explained it, actually, I think he's a defensive lineman. He goes, we can play you in 4 important games this year and then come back and be Ty Robinson.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's like, okay.
Fair.
I mean, Ty is tearing up, so is Nash. Because he's too talented not to be on the field as a rotation.
Well, I think he's a
He's
he
a freshman.
can do 4 games.
He can play up to 4 games.
Right.
And
Okay.
still redshirt the season. And the way that I heard that rule explained it is that he went to Riley and said, hey, you got 4 games to play this year. We can play in the 4 games and you could redshirt and come back and be Ty Robinson next year.
Excuse me.
So
I heard today, and it's a reliable source, that Illinois has small backs that guard our tight ends. So I got a feeling we're going to see a lot from our tight ends this week. And I think there's a lot more plays that they're not showing.
oh, of course there is. I mean, that's a given.
Right. So I don't know. I think Illinois is going to be a challenge, but I think it's very winnable.
Yeah, that's what we spoke of earlier. We were talking about how Illinois is going to be like, because I was laughing about Northern Iowa when that dude tried to sack Raiola and he tried to do like a back tackle. He just like flew into him like that. Raiola just flew away like a toddler. Like, no, sorry about that. And so I'm like, once we get to real teams like Illinois, like Ohio State, they're not going to play like that. They're playing solid, straight ass ball. So we got to not able to play around. We're not going to. We're not playing around, but we look so good because we're not playing around against small teams.
Yeah, we're doing what we need to do.
Right. Yeah. But I think there's a lot more that they're going to do that we don't know about.
Oh, for sure.
Why play the bag when you don't have to? You can just play vanilla and then open that bag up against bigger teams.
Exactly. And you have your plays you like to use, just like even, Armchair Commando. You play Madden. If I could run on Randy, I'm just gonna keep on running on you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they can't stop it, why use the other plays? Keep them in your pocket.
I'm just saying, we'll see. It's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be a much closer game than the 3 games we've played already.
I think it will, but I think we pull away in the 4th. I think this will be the first game that our starters play the full game.
Yeah, I want to see them do more in the second half of the ball game.
I mean, we scored twice in the second half last week.
Yeah, it was, but still, there's still a lot of penalties to me.
We only had,
and I don't think there was as many penalties in this last game than the first 2. But I expected a lot of penalties against Colorado.
We had 4 penalties for 44 yards.
That was improvement.
Big time. I mean, they cut everything in half.
In Colorado, we had like freaking 12 penalties.
Yep. But that was a highly emotional game.
Right.
I think we got up and we kind of got sloppy, is what happened. But I don't see that moving forward. I can see that bar at 4 kind of hover throughout the season. But hey, anything's possible. I mean, we could have games that we have no penalties. We could have games that we have 14 penalties.
Right.
So it's all going to depend on, the boys, staying focused and leaning on their training.
I'm like, I can't wait for Friday to come, and then I can wait for Friday.
I can't wait for Friday. It's going to be so much fun. I love
it'll be. I mean, I'm But now that we're getting into our Big Ten play, the games are going to be
more of a premium.
Right.
Yep.
But I'm expecting to see a lot of our tight ends. Thomas Fedoni, I'm expecting to see those guys get some play in, get some stuff.
See, Borkature is one of those players that just he's not out making big plays, but when you need him, he's there.
Right.
He's not super flashy. He's a block first type of player, which I love in a tight end. So I mean, we'll see what happens. He's not gonna. Right. He don't have runaway speed. He's tough. He's tough as nails. And Fedoni is like one of those kind of flashier type, like Ethan Carter type.
Carter Nelson too. We should see.
Carter Nelson's a slot receiver right now, but he can play any position.
Right, and I think we're going to see some Harburg too.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Harburg had a couple plays this past game.
Yeah,
what was it? A 8-yard slant that he had, and then the read option.
Yeah, I was happy to see him get in there. The couple of times he did. Of course, yeah, I don't want him to overuse him. That makes sense. But yeah, I want to see him get some play in. He stayed. I mean, he could have left. Chose to stay.
I just think that shows. How can I put this? A love for not just for the game, but for the university.
And another thing, we're gonna be testing our running backs this game because, man, that front offensive line, that front line of offense there for Illinois, they're some big guys, man, and they're good.
They are good. I'll give. I mean, they're a Brent Bielema team. I mean, let's be honest. They're a smaller Wisconsin.
Yeah,
from
Wisconsin's not doing too good.
Early 2000s. I mean, early 2000s Wisconsin. They were running just. You couldn't stop the run.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun. I'll probably lose my voice again.
Oh, ain't no doubt about that.
But hey,
I'm just kind of
love football.
Illinois. I give it 31-24 Nebraska.
31-24.
Play a game against them.
Brother, do you think?
Love you guys. Go us.
Later,
go
dude.
Spread forever.
Yeah.
Puppy.
Puppies. All right, so here we are finishing her up. What is your prediction?
27-21.
Wow.
Nebraska.
Well, I'm going against the grain. I'm going to say 31-14.
Nebraska?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's if they get 14 points. 31-14.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's going to be a lot closer game, this one.
Well, 31-14 is closer.
Yeah. I don't think any team has scored over 10 points on us. And we haven't given up over 20 points in the 3 games that we played so far.
We gave up the most yards this past week is 301 yards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they got yardage on us, but they didn't get no scoring.
Because when we bent, but we didn't break.
Our defense is freaking beast. They're playing freaking good football right now, man.
Dominating football. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Tune in next week for our recap of the Illinois-Nebraska game. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red. Throw the bones.